Dr. Karen here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. So the light warriors this week in my group have been busy trying to shift the path and the quality of Hurricane Irma. So I'm not much for watching news, but I know that I'll hear about it if it's necessary for me to hear about it. So I did test and check with source whether Irma was one of those storms that has been manipulated or artificially manipulated. In this case, I got a yes. So in those cases, weather magic is actually easier to do than in those cases where storms are so-called natural phenomenon and Mother Earth needs to rebalance herself. So not to say we can't shift and change and ask for shifts and changes in those, but a lot of times it's a lot easier to cancel out the negative frequencies if they're being manipulated. So much to my surprise, I got that Hurricane Harvey was not artificially manipulated. However, there was a lot of press online, natural news, that kind of thing that said it was. So I don't know, why, many people thought it was, but maybe it's to just highlight the fact that, yeah, hurricanes are amplified and can be amplified with electromagnetic pulses and all sorts of high-tech equipment, whether it be through, governmental or military or ET governmental associations, it doesn't really matter. But I think that, when I asked about Hurricane Harvey and got that it was not manipulated, and that was for basically Mother Earth's rebalancing, it was for the highest good. I kind of asked, why was it for the highest good? We had so much, destruction in the Houston area, and the answer was for compassion. So this kind of happened with Fukushima as well, in the fact that in the aftermath of the storms, in the aftermath of the, what happened with the in Fukushima, that it was a chance for us to witness human compassion and love and giving and being open-hearted. And sometimes we need, as humans, to have a wake-up call in order for us to connect with that part of us. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't have that and we didn't have to go to tragedy, in order for us to stay in that vibration, stay in the heart? But at this point, obviously, we still need the lessons or experiences or whatever, that love is really, so important and foundational, and for us to witness the compassion and the giving and the generosity. Sometimes bad things happen just so we can witness it, just so we can remember who we really are. So not all storms are bad, not all storms are, evil or manipulated, by whoever. Now Irma apparently was. I didn't really care who, what, or why, but we went ahead and asked our light warriors to go ahead and move the storm, and also Archangel Uriel with his team to do whatever they can to veer the storm off from the line of travel of populated areas, so that there'll be no human lives lost and no damage done. So of course time will only tell whatever we did was enough, but the job has already been finished in my mind, so let's just see what happens. So what else did I want to tell you about today? Well, two important things. One is, thanks to my good friend Diana Cushionbach, wonderful healer, policeintuitive.com. She talked to us months ago about the soul wants. So sometimes our soul energy, especially those of us that are sensitives, that have that are type 3 and 4 healers, especially, that are here to heal more people than just ourselves, part of our soul mission, part of our role. Sometimes we have this extra, so-called extra soul energy that is to be used in our divine path to help these others. However, there are many of us that actually are kind of like I guess some of this energy is being siphoned off into other areas based on what are called soul wants. So Diana talked about to us about soul wants being sort of wants of our soul to help more people, places, and things that may not be part of our divine path. Now, all of us have our divine path, what's for the highest and greatest good for us, ourselves, and for the people, places, and things that we are healing or helping, but sometimes we can get very distracted by everything else that's going on. And I know I am a perfect example of that, even consciously wanting to help this one and that one and this one, that one, and then, having been burnt out before, I don't want to go there again. And I can tell when that starts to happen, and I have to kind of, reevaluate things when that happens. So one of the things you can do if you are good at your divine muscle testing is just ask, how happy is my soul, wants, and needs balanced? So we want that 100% balanced. So your soul wants, ask if you have any inappropriate soul wants in this timeline or any others, and you can count them up if you want. We had one person, that had like 40 different soul wants in all timelines. About 9 of them were in this timeline. We had another person who had over 800 soul wants from various other timelines all combined. So you don't need to count them, but if you're curious, you can do that. And at that point, what we want to do is we want to connect the regulator, the regulating system that helps to kind of regulate these soul wants and needs, to the master controller, which controls all of other systems. So now that we know about this system, because we had to know about it before we could do something about it, you can go ahead and reconnect it to your master controller and make sure that that's all 100% happy, the connection's happy, your regulation is happy. And once that happens, normally what happens is all those extraneous, inappropriate soul wants where your soul energy has been seeping out into other areas that is not part of your divine path, that now stops. So, but what about the energy that's already seeped out, right? So what you can do is do a reclamation or reclaiming. So you can go ahead and reclaim all that soul energy back to you, back to where it belongs, okay, in the highest and best way. You can do this through your Topocan healing directives. You can also do this, of course, by sending that intention to your, if you have any of my packages, to your Ascension 2, if you have the entity package, or to the deep healings, if you have those as well. So let me just check with Source, which one is that in for deep healing. So we're looking for this particular order for balancing soul wants and needs. Is this in all of them? Oh, it's in all of them. Sorry, it's in Soul Ascension 1 and 2, and all the deep healings. Okay, so this, I did so many this week, I can't remember, but so this particular order and healing is in all my MP3s, because that's pretty darn important, I would think. Okay, so you can just go ahead and just, command that your soul wants and needs to be balanced, the regulator be reattached to and connected to your master controller, which is, restored to 100%, and then go ahead and reclaim that soul energy back to where it belongs for the highest good. And then, or you can just direct any of the MP3s to do everything I just said for you. Okay. So the other thing that was really interesting this week that just came up is that we are, as you know, doing these ascension cycles, and currently we're in the midst of the rising part of the ascension cycle. So grounding will be much more challenging, especially for those of you that are star seeds and possibly some of the earth angels as well. So you do have to connect and help yourself, ground on a regular basis. That means taking care of your physical body, of course. But one of the things that has happened that I didn't know about until today is that we have opened up to those higher dimensions enough that some of us actually are able or have basically the ability to do time travel. Our consciousness can do time travel. And thanks to one of my starseeds that has this wonderful role in helping me learn all this stuff, she's so awesome, what we found out was that some of these time travel blueprints that are, in the belly area. If you've taken my Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program, you heard about those. You want to make sure those time travel blueprints are 100% happy, right? So you don't want to go time traveling without you wanting to go time traveling. I mean, I have some people, one of them's, one of my kids that insists on going time traveling in various different ways, and this is the safe way to do it. Okay, so the time travel blueprints tell you how to do it safely, so your consciousness can be in the past and the future, so to speak, with this. But what we did today was we did a healing around creating a morphic field for safety, so that this is in Ascension number 2, and Deep Healing 1 and 3 is now upgraded with this, so that when people have that access to that time travel, blueprint, and they have access to the energy required to do time travel, it's a specific kind of energy from a particular kind of dimension, which many of us has opened up to. We also want to be fully 100% consciousness sovereign, right? So we want to be sovereign. So we teach this, and I think the very first module for the Light Warrior VIP is how to check on how sovereign your consciousness is. So we want it sovereign while awake, while asleep, in all these different ways. You know, you could divide it up into mental consciousness and emotional consciousness and energetic, so on and so forth. You want that 100%, right? And then the third stipulation to do safe time travel is around the let's see, you have good blueprints, you have, yes, the conscious intent to time travel. Okay, so because that could feel pretty funky if part of your consciousness is in the future, part of it's in the past, none of it is as present. And remember, in order to manifest, you need to actually be present. So I'm going to say that again. In order to manifest your future, your energies have to be in the present. So if your energies are elsewhere, it's not the time to ask for something or to manifest. So that could cause some issues. So we have actually put this new morphic field together so that people that want to time travel or don't know that they might be time traveling can do that safely. I have no idea. I have not been doing it, so it's not part of what I'm interested in at this point. But many people are accessing those higher dimensions and receiving those energies from those higher dimensions to be able to do time traveling. And by the way, we did get the note today that it's the Hara line chakras and the auric layers that actually receive some of this energy and store it for our use for this purpose. And so we want to make sure that all that is working well. And again, like I said, the new orders and healing have been already infused into the Ascension 2 in this case, and Deep Healing 1 and 3. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to, I'm really excited about is on Monday, I'm going to be interviewing Deanna Hansen, the creator of block therapy. Now, my good friend Kathy Homeyer, she's always, sharing cool stuff with me. And this is one other thing that she shared, which is so cool. So block therapy, I'm so excited because, as many of you know, over the last year and a half, I have gained like 20 pounds without necessarily changing anything in my diet. I mean, still, doing whole foods. I tried different diets in the meantime just to test to see whether, manipulating my diet would change the weight issue, and that had not. Same thing, doing exercise, doing different types. And again, a lot of it was curiosity and not particularly depression, but curiosity is like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, why am I having so much fluid? So I know I have fascial restrictions in my physical body in this time, and that's one of my challenges. So I've been working with various healers to work on my manual body, and I've been working, on the pelvic floor, which has been really, really cool with Isa Herrera. I love that. The other thing that I've noticed with both Deanna in block therapy and Isa was that they're really, really, emphasize the importance of having good posture. So I've been really working hard on that in the last couple of weeks. The way I'm sitting, now I've got my screen, in a better level, not looking down all the time. Bought some various, paraphernalia so I could, be in a better posture. Because remember, you can do all the energy healing in the world, but if you're sitting slouched, your energy center is just not going to work as well. If you're not sitting aligned, if you've got these restrictions. So my body really responds well to body work. I love body work. So with the block therapy, it's really cool because you get to go deep into those restrictions, into the diaphragm, into the belly area, which is where I have issues, and really melt some of this fascia, some of these restrictions. So I'm really enjoying the block therapy right now. I know I'm only on day 6, but I'm really enjoying it. And it's really interesting, fascinating. So I can't wait to talk to Deanna on Monday about it. So I'm going to just show you what my block looks like. It just literally arrived today. Is that cool or what? Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, it's made of cedar. It's particular dimension, particular roundedness. Took her 2 years to get to the right shape and the right density of material to do the release of fascia. Oh, and it smells beautiful too. So my dear husband made me one as well, which is a little bit less tall, so I can kind of ease into this one. He's such a dear to do that. So I'm really excited. So please join me on Monday on the radio show, September 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list now so you can get all the links to all the shows and you can listen to the replays even if you're not there live. And if you're not part of my Light Warrior group and curious to check out what that's like, I'll put the links below the YouTube video. You can subscribe to me below and you can check out some of our programs, the Advanced Entity and ET Clearing Program, as well as the Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program. And of course, if you're on my mailing list, you will know as soon as it hits and is available, my Unlock Your Superpowers program, which is going to be launching October 18th. But if you're on my mailing list, you will get a preview of this prior, because I know the way the Tell It Summit world works is that they ask us to discount our programs quite a lot, and so there's a limited number for the first, whatever it is, 100 or 50 or whatever it is, where the prices are the best. So if you're on my mailing list, you will get that alert first, so you can check out the program, see if it's right for you before it goes live on the 18th of October. So Unlock Your Superpowers, it's now called the Unlock Your Superpowers, the 7 R's formula for masterful manifesting. So I'm so excited to bring this to all of you, and it's going to be very different from all of my other programs. Very different, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about that at a later date. So have a wonderful week, and thank you all of you who have been sending healing to the folks in Houston who've been donating money, who have been, using your time, energy, and love, for Irma and all that wonderful stuff. So let's keep our vibration with love, with generosity, and away from fear. Lots of love to you, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.